Hello everyone. Just an update on Canadian Freedom Convoy protests. Ontario Premier has ordered the second donation platform to freeze funds for protesters. So less than a week after GoFundMe at the behest of Mayor of Ottawa and Justin Trudeau summarily closed their fundraiser, which had exceeded $10 million Canadian dollars. Ontario's Premier Doug Ford has issued an order that essentially freezes any funds that have been raised thus far from the alternate crowdsourcing site Give Send Go. So this is the second platform they have ordered to freeze the funds. Whether the convoy truckers will be discouraged by that, yeah, we'll see. I sure hope not, but government is playing dirty games. Freezing money from GoFundMe and Give Send Go does not happen in a democratic country. This is a full-blown communism move. Canadians are not allowed to do what they want with their own money. If this is allowed with no recourse, it will eventually be much worse. I 200% agree with this sentiment. We have to be, aware that more we give up our freedoms and liberties, more difficult it will be for us to get them back in future. The order specifically states that the fundraising platform Give Send Go is prohibited from doing anything with the funds. Today, the Attorney General brought an application in Superior Court of Justice for an order pursuant to Section 490.8 of Criminal Code prohibiting any person from disposing of or otherwise dealing with in any manner whatsoever any and all monetary donations made through the Freedom Convoy 2022 and Adopt a Trucker campaign pages on Give Send Go online fundraising platforms. So this is a court order which prohibits truckers to use the funds however they want. Spokesperson for the Premier's office says this essentially means the funds are frozen for now. Not good at all. In a statement on Twitter, Give Send Go wrote in an apparent response to the court order, "Know this, Canada has absolute zero jurisdiction over how we manage our funds here at Give Send Go." They do sound they are supporting the Freedom Convoy, and let's hope they continue to and allow these funds to be used how the Freedom Convoy truckers want them to use. Give Send Go stands for hope and freedom. We recognize the freedoms we have are God given, not authorized by governments, but rather freedoms that ought to be protected by our governments. This is very important for everybody to understand. Our freedom and rights are God given and not something that can be dictated by governments. They are protected by governments because public choose them to, but they are not given to us by the governments. And so far about $8.5 million have been fundraised and frozen because of the court order. And I covered this very point early this week or maybe last week, that we should have our money outside of the system, because if government is playing these sort of dirty games just to support their narrative, they will get worse and harsher going forward, and we should have alternate mechanisms to protect our financial freedom. So yeah, that's the news on Freedom Convoy. Moving on, in the US, Harvard professor and CNN analyst is calling for violence against Freedom Convoy. Harvard professor, CNN analyst, and former Obama admin Undersecretary of Homeland Security Juliet Kayyem has called for violence and vandalism against Freedom Convoy protesters who have amassed on bridge that connects Detroit, Michigan to Windsor, Ontario. Ambassador Bridge link constitute 28% of annual trade movement between US and Canada, tweeted Kayyem. Slash the tires, empty gas tanks, arrest the drivers and move the trucks. These are the same lot who were protesting, who were supporting violence when those Antifa and BLM guys were protesting. So crazy times we live in. In addition to momentarily stupid idea, considering the logistics of moving trucks with no fuel and slash tires, one has to wonder if Kayyem is saying the quiet part out loud when it comes to how Democrats respond to non-BLM protests. Yeah, that's what I just mentioning earlier. These guys are absolutely crazy. Left-wingers. The blockade is having a significant impact on Michigan working families who are just trying to do their jobs. Our common communities and automotive manufacturing and agriculture businesses are feeling the effect. It's hitting paychecks and production lines. This is unacceptable, the Democrat governor said in Thursday statement. Now, while I agree that this will have impact on the local community, and and I will share a news just on that, but what these Democrats don't realize is that these mandates have ruined life of other local communities as well. They weren't able to go to their works or offices and work places, not able to earn their livings because of these stupid mandates as well, and we should not forget that. Anyway, so, and this is what I was mentioning earlier. North American automakers shutter production amid Canadian trucker blockade. So it's starting to hit home actually. As of Thursday morning, automakers including Toyota, Chrysler, Pacifica, Ford, and General Motors halted or limited production at their Canadian US manufacturing plants due to Canadian truckers blocking the busiest international land border crossing between US and Canada over sickness mandates. So yeah, this will definitely have impact on local community. If production is halted, then no paychecks, and that is definitely not good. But I support truckers Freedom Convoy, and it's for all of us to be aware and learn that if we let these politicians walk over us and do whatever or implement whatever crazy mandates and restrictions they want and like, then in the future is really bleak for the rest of the society, and we should not let them get away with this. A recent survey by Angus Reid Institute found that majority of Canadians, 54%, are in favor of lifting restrictions in the country, and that's a very important data point. Anyway, so that's the news on Freedom Convoy, and I will keep you guys posted on this in future as well. And let's meet in the next one. Bye.